Hello there YouTube, my name is Storonki and I'm going to start a little bit of a guide tutorial thing series about World of Tanks, and I'm just going to start at the most basic stuff ever. So I'm gonna start at, if you don't know what World of Tanks is, I'm going to explain what it is. If you already know, then maybe skip the first few videos until you see a topic on where you would like to know more stuff about. But I'm going to start at the basis, and with this video I will basically start about the base principle of World of Tanks. What is it? What kind of game is it? And what kind of stuff do you do and what can you expect? So World of Tanks is a online multiplayer tank game with mainly World War II tanks, some few earlier ones from before World War II, and also some Cold War era tanks. And I'm not sure. I cannot tell you anything about the future of World of Tanks, about the upcoming tanks, if they will be more futuristic or not. But you're just basically looking at the World War II era kind of thing. And what you are basically doing is you pick a tank that's kind of, a basic old tank that's tiny with a tiny gun. You go into battle, you end up in a 15 versus 15 player match, your team against the other. You fight each other with all kinds of tanks that all have their own little traits and, pros and cons. And at the end of the match, a winner is decided, or maybe the battle will end in a draw. And you will gain experience and credits. And with that, you use those resources to upgrade your tank, get better tanks, get better equipment for your tanks, train your crew, get higher and higher and higher into the tech trees. You have these big kind of tech trees that let you choose a specific path to certain tanks that you may want or may not want. And, that's the whole game in its basis. If you're more of a historical kind of person that wants to, immerse yourself in tank gameplay, this game is not a simulation. It's very arcadey, so you're not gonna get any simulating experience from this game. The game has health bars. You're basically fighting with German tanks alongside American tanks, French tanks, whatever. And in the enemy team, there might as well be German tanks as well. So you might even face tanks that, are the same nation as your tank. And basically, there's no simulation factor in this. So you should not go for World of Tanks if you're looking for anything like that. It's arcadey. It's meant for fun, and there's also a lot of skill involved. The skill ceiling is very high, but there also goes a lot, and I mean really a lot, of game mechanics and knowledge and just pure trial and error. You can't get good in this game just by learning. You just need to have that trial and error experience as well. There will happen so many things in this game that will just teach you about the next time on that match, and the next time, and the next time, and it will keep on going until you finally reach a better level of skill and get on with that. But yeah, it's arcadey. You fight alongside the same nation tanks, other nation tanks to other tanks. Not realistic at all, and yeah, if you don't care about that, and if you don't care about tanks being blueprints, you have blueprints, prototypes, kind of things, stuff like the mouse. Only one prototype existed, or one and a half, I believe. But there can easily be like 6 mouse in one match, fighting each other, like 3 mouse against 3 other mouse tanks or whatever. There's plenty of blueprint tanks, so yeah, there's that. There's also, I believe, an amount of tanks that are made on the basis of a description. And I believe there are some discussions as well about certain other tanks that are believed to even not exist. However, I cannot confirm any of that. I think there was like one certain tank, one Chinese tank that had the turret of a American M48 patent turret on top, stuff like that. But you know, my basic conclusion is it's not realistic, and you should not go in this game expecting much realism, just expecting a lot of tanks, a lot of action, and a lot of fun if this is your kind of stuff. If you're looking for a more realistic approach towards this game, you should look at other games. There's some alternatives when it comes to tanks and gameplay online. And there are also, no real modern tanks, so if you don't care about old tanks and only want to drive around in your Abrams or in whatever, then you can't find that over here either at this very moment, though. Maybe in the future, I have no idea. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, there's that. That's the basic principle of World of Tanks. If you're looking for a game where you can drive around in tanks, blasting other people, having a laugh, and obviously, since it's an online MMO-ish game, it's not an open world, but it is online, so it has a lot of grindy content as well. To reach the higher tanks, you just need to spend a lot of time in this game as well, in order to reach certain stuff. And there's also I even forgot to mention, it's a free game, so there are also options to spend money to make it easier for yourself. However, I am a believer that I think the game, I myself have played a long time without paying anything. Only after a long time I started spending money on it. And I think the creators of the game, Wargaming, have given me a lot of free stuff before I actually started spending money on this. I managed to get a lot of free stuff, even free premium tanks, which give you certain benefits, however are not, in my opinion, unfair against other players. I think they are, for the most part, pretty balanced. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Free-to-play tank game, 15 versus 15 player matches. If that's your thing with older tanks and you like that, then I advise you to either search it up yourself and keep looking at my videos, staying tuned to other upcoming videos, because I do want to warn you that this game has so much explaining to do. You can go in it blind, that you can, but I would never advise to go blind into this game. There's just so much explanation, and you can get, bullied out of the game if nothing is explained to you. There's like a tutorial, but it doesn't really explain the mechanics at all. A few basic things, but it doesn't really explain the mechanics, how they specifically work with things like that. So yeah, I basically just, my personal experience is that there are not a lot of, the average player in World of Tanks isn't that good. You can just see the stupid things a lot of people do, even on high levels. And that's from the perspective of a very experienced player. And, even if I can help one person become better, then at least I kind of helped to make the community better. To, have the average player skill rise a little bit. So yeah, if that's the thing I can do, then yeah. So yeah, you can either try checking it out, downloading the server for yourself, whatever, wait for more stuff, more videos, more tutorials before checking the game out. If you do decide to download it, please refer to this list. You have different servers, so it will depend on where you live. You have the North American server, so if you live in North America, you can obviously use that. Or if you live in Canada, I believe that will be basically the North American server, the closest to you. You have the European server where I play. This is I think the second most popular server. You have the Asia server, so if you live somewhere in Asia, then this is the place for you to go. There's also the Russian server. This is because the main creators of the game are Russian, and there is the South Korean server, and also a Chinese server, which is yeah, I believe that the Chinese server is not really even that much part of wargaming. I think they have kind of their own rules and whatnot. It's an entire different thing. It's the same game, but there's some different stuff when it comes to stuff you can buy, I believe. But yeah, you have these choices, so sorry for the Australians. You'll just have to figure out for yourself where you will have the best internet connection. But yeah, these are the servers. You can check out all the websites over here and download the client if you want to. And otherwise, just stick around for more content. If you already know World of Tanks and you just want to get better, then wait for later videos, because I will start at the most basic stuff and slowly just get into more advanced stuff. And yeah, there's that. I hope this kind of explained what World of Tanks is, showing you a little bit of a few clips down here with some gameplay and whatnot, I believe. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.